Good afternoon. You're probably thinking, why is this guy sitting out on his porch in the cold after a snowstorm, but on a sunny afternoon? Well, these are the conditions that you will be working in, not minus the porch, in Southern Baptist Disaster Relief. They are arduous. It may be the heat of August, or it may be the cold of a Nebraska winter. You need to be ready for that. So let me begin with my introduction to the paper, and let me read what it says to you. Southern Baptist Disaster Relief is the third largest disaster relief organization in the United States and the second largest faith-based organization in the United States. But most Southern Baptists don't know that and don't know how to get involved. Southern Baptist Disaster Relief is the best thing going for it. In the Southern Baptist Convention, according to my friend Admiral Endell Lee, he said this at the Chaplains Professional Development Conference in 2018. Lee, he served with the U.S. Coast Guard after the attacks on the World Trade Center in New York City. In addition, Lee was president as the Navy chaplain serving with the U.S. Coast Guard in the Category 5 Hurricane Katrina in 2005. He served under Thad William Allen, the area commander, so his experiences have contributed to Southern Baptist Disaster Relief and Southern Baptist Disaster Relief Chaplaincy. Thank you, Endell Lee. David Griffin writes an author's note in the beginning of In Honor of the Charleston Nine, a study of change following tragedy, written in 2013. David Griffin gives his why for becoming a firefighter, Charleston, South Carolina. He writes, "When I was growing up, I never imagined I would be a firefighter. Today, I can't imagine not being one. It was in my blood, but it was not in my blood, but it was always in my heart. Both SBDR, Southern Baptist Disaster Relief, and firefighting must be done with lots of heart. Doing either without compassion is a recipe for disaster in itself." Griffin's 2004 pre-employment interview reflected on the Charleston's Fire Department, CFD, and shared history and traditions of the American Fire Service, and shared with every fire department across the United States. He writes, "As I passed through the historical brick archways into the stall that housed the fire engines, I smelled the remnants of the fire in the air. The floor still had the grooves from where the horses used to pull the steamer. Hence the reason it is called a stall, not a bay. I looked around and saw all the firefighters' gear hanging on the outside of the rig as if it was something going to catch fire at any moment. The background noise echoed of the words of the dispatcher that I could not yet understand. Tongue-and-groove woodwork lined all the wall and ceiling of this landmark station that was placed in service in 1888. We have a lot of tradition in the fire service. Griffin provides insight into the world of firefighters step into daily, but in various parts of the country. He was blessed to be hired and paid to do the job that he loves, firefighting. However, for 80% of the United States, his fellow firefighters must have a second job to do the one that they love, firefighting. These faithful volunteers practice disruptive compassion as they attempt to balance work, life, family, while attending to everybody in their fire district's worst day of their lives, while constantly remaining ready and professional wherever, whenever the dispatcher calls them into service."